Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. We're going to pick up where we left off last on the Green Power Ranger project. So last time we replaced this passenger side floorboard and we put in this body bushing. So today I'm going to start with doing the back body bushings on this side, and then I'll jump over to the other side, and then we'll actually move up and start cutting out that floor pan. So we'll go ahead and get some rust breaker on that, let it be soaking in while I gather up the tools, and we'll get started. Alright guys, so this took way longer than what it should have, but I figured out why. So you can see right here where I've been prying, but this had been done previous, all these bend marks on this body bracket, and that's because this is the bottom nut with the washer made to it, and you see this here actually goes up inside of this piece, and of course that's your top. So it was completely seized inside of this piece. So what I had to do is, if you don't have your little propane torch, I suggest you go get one. I heated from the top and then used my impact and kept spinning, and as it's spinning, it kept working its way and basically grinding itself out. So you ended up, that's why you see it's all silver, because I used the impact and kept spinning until it broke itself free. So now that I've got that out, there's your body bushing. It's an original Ford one. I can see they tried to change it at one point, but like I said, they were unsuccessful. So now what I'm gonna do is, as again, you can see that that is mushroomed. I'm gonna clean it up, straighten this washer back out, because that's all there is to that. There's the top washer here, as you can see, was bent in because it was torqued too tight. So I had to clean that up, but clean it up, paint it, and then while this side is drying, I'm gonna go and do the other side. So the top, I didn't mention this on the other one, but the top's an 18 millimeter. And then on the bottom, let me see, I think it's this one here. Nope, lied to you. Here it is. It is a 21 millimeter on the bottom. But get that cleaned up. As you can see, this is what I had to rig up. I had to get my anvil, then my 20-ton bottle jack, and then I got a board on the body itself on the seam to where it has the strength, lifted it up high enough to get that out. So let's go ahead and get this cleaned up and jump to the other side. All right guys, update. I found an even easier way to get these out. So as I told you, I was using the impact and spinning them to get them broke free. Well, I'll still do that, except for now what I'll do is put the bolt back in, give it some threads, and then hammer down on the bolt to break it free. I just done this one. It went super easy. So on this one, I just got to line it back up. If I can do it holding the camera. Let me get it lined back up. All right, got it lined back up. And like I said, I ran her a few threads down, and I'm just gonna hit, and it'll actually blow that through the bottom, and we'll be good. This side will be done. I just got to lift it up and finish taking them out, but this is the same way. You can see that that piece is mushroomed out. So they are definitely a bitch to get out, but I think this method right here is probably the best. Threaded a few threads in, hit it down, you're good to go. Let's keep going. All right guys, so I got both of these sides out. So you can see that one's going and that one's going. Used the method with the hammer and the bolt. It worked out great. So now I got this side cleaned up, which actually came from the other side, but I'm gonna put it on this back cab to kind of get it leveled out right now, because I got both of these off. So it is tilting, the cab's tilting this way. So this one with a good one over there and a good one in this corner, it'll kind of keep it balanced. So that being said, when I took this side apart, it had all kinds of spacers. I'm not sure why, but it did. And this is what its bushing looked like. And then here's your back bushing. So I'm sure someone's been into it before. I have no clue why or why they done all that. There's no damage to this side. as you can see, there's that piece we made on the other side, and there's no, like, see if you can see up in there, there's no damage to any of this. So not quite sure why they done that, but we're gonna go ahead, make sure everything's good and cleaned up, and put this side on. So this back corner takes a 60-343 and a 60-340 according to the instructions right here. So I'm also remember how these set inside each other like so, and they got hung up. I'm going to anti-seize this side, so when it goes down inside, hopefully it won't hang up if I ever have to take this out in the future. So let's get started. All right, so that body mounts in. So if you remember from the other side, we didn't have these plated nuts because it had been changed at some point, and we actually turned the bolt up the other way to try to prevent it from getting rusted. Well, on this I didn't have the option because that type of washer won't fit there, but I'll just leave it this way because this is how it came factory. I went by this diagram like I did on the other one. So once we get this set down with all the new bushings, we'll have to see how the cab sits to make sure it's sitting level, because like I said, I don't really understand why they had so many plates and stuff that not meant to be in there. So we'll see. But right now the other ones are drying, so what I'm going to do is actually go ahead, start fitting the floorboard in, because you can see some nice rust holes. So we have to be really careful on this side because of the fuel lines and such that's running down through there. So I'm gonna mark it and start cutting like we did the other side. All right guys, I was wanting to show you, I was pulling the steering wheel off so I could get in here and work freely. So there you see my steering wheel puller set up, got the bolts ran in, and it's getting ready to pull it off. So got my impact. I'm just gonna see if how easy she's gonna come off. Not very easy. So now I'm just gonna go get my ratchet, hook to it, and it might be actually. Yep. So it had pulled it off, no issues. Had to just bottomed out. So steering wheel is off. Go ahead and I'll remove this puller since I won't need it anymore. So here we are at the column. Let's keep going. All right guys, so I went ahead and got the floorboard. I've done the same steps as I did over there. I traced it out to where I needed it to be here, so I'm keeping it right with that bracket. I actually slid up under a little bit here to try to keep away from the bad rust here, so I can get it. I didn't need to cut this section out like I did over there, so I'm going to keep this to keep its original body seam. So then when I go to here, I am going to cut out right here because there is some rust that cuts back up in here. So I'm going to get rid of all that, just follow along. And I technically don't need to cut it this high up on the transmission tunnel because it is good metal under there, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I'll show you. As you can see, the metal up there is really nice. I may actually even come here and just cut a section down, come straight off this side and come straight across, just to take it down to leave that good metal there and come across. I'm not sure. I may do it, I may not. We'll see once I get cutting. But as you know from the last time we went through here and cut that, there's the cross member that lives up through here, and then you got the one that lives over through here, and then of course the one that goes, you got, sorry, this member, and then this member, it goes up through here. So we're going to do the cuts around and then take it out like that. But I think this side's gonna be, I hope, a lot easier than that side because there is less rust on the driver's side.
There was more rust over there because I think from where this accident was, this door frame had leaked from all the gasket material that was on it. And then inside this fender well had leaked. So I hope when we put the new seal on it and that I got that door frame straightened out, it's not gonna leak anymore. But we'll see. So let's go ahead, start hacking out this side, and we'll see where we get. All right, guys, so I had to take a little break and go pick up some stuff from town, but I went ahead and installed this rear cab bushing on the passenger side. Then I went ahead and ground and cleaned up all around the door frame. So what I've noticed is that they actually put this whole cab side on before. And the reason that this had leaked so bad is because this actual pinch weld around through here was turned completely towards me, which that's not correct. It should be straight as you're looking forward as you go around it and so on. So I'm gonna clean up some of their weld up here and get this laying a little bit better flat. Then keep taking my body dolly and the backing and keep straightening it out so you can see how it is. I've almost got it because I've got the new seals for it. So I'll clean that, paint it. When I clean it, then I'll hit it with some of the seam sealer that I've got. Make sure everything's good and watertight. And then I'll go ahead and put that seal on. But it is getting really late. So I'm gonna do a little housekeeping things, but I just wanted to show you this other side. So as you can see, it is straight as an arrow all the way around. So I got a little bit more work to do there. That's why this floorboard isn't as bad, because it did leak around that door for quite some time. So we'll get back tomorrow. We have this marked, as you can see, ready for it to cut out. We'll drop it out, and then we'll be good to start welding in the other one. So once it's in, I'll get everything cleaned up on it. We'll get it painted, everything sealed on it, and hopefully tomorrow we'll go ahead and start getting that transmission back in. So once I get it back in, then we can move up top here, finish up that, put it in the rear window, and she's ready to start driving. I am gonna start driving it without doing the core support yet. I need to get it on the road. Like I said, it's gonna be my daily. It and the yellow Cobra, if you follow my Instagram, you've seen it. But we're gonna pause this video till tomorrow and pick back up here in the morning.
All right, guys, next morning. So we're gonna jump straight into cutting this floorboard out. I'm gonna get up under, wrap some rags around the gas lines, wet them down, make sure everything stays good and wet so the sparks are hitting it, it won't ignite. There's no gas in it, so but there's always residual vapors, fumes, maybe some actual residual gas in the lines and stuff. So just taking all the precautions, but we're gonna get that cut out and get that new floorboard in. So let's get started.
All right, guys, so she's cut out. As you can see, this brace is a lot better than what the other one was. But do you see something I think that's potentially missing? Looks like it's been cut off here. So what I'm gonna have to do, take off this inner fender and try to look and see if the connecting brace is still up there, or if it, I know it had to have one because that looks too cut. So what I'm gonna do is get cleaned up, because I do have a lot of pieces out. Had to do the same thing as last time, so cut it in sections and get it out. But this truck has either, been in a major accident, or I really don't know what, to be honest. But we're gonna fix her right and get her back going right. So taking her up, getting it cleaned up, I'll show you up underneath. All right, guys, so I got under here, and you can see there's where the brace would have been to here. But I can't really see where they've actually cut it off. I see where they cut the front side, but I don't see where they cut the back side. If you can see up in there, see just a tab, where if you go to the side we fixed, it actually just runs up under the floorboard there and stops. We connected it back here, remember? Now, it's not as bad as what I thought. So what I'll do is go back and get that black piece like we had that came off the Tundra, and I'll just cut me a section that comes up and we'll tack it to this floorboard. We'll go through and put it here and connect it down here and just give this foot brace a little bit. It just makes it more sturdy. But also while I'm under here, I'm going to get some of this stuff cleaned up in preparation of putting the transition back in. So a lot of work to do, but let's keep going. All grounded and cleaned up now, all the way around. There's the bracket I made. So I cut a slit again so it interlock, and it's interlocked up here in this little slit. So you can see it's going to overlap like so. I'll get it welded in, and then we'll spot weld down it like we did the other side with the floorboard. So now everything's cleaned up. I can set the floorboard in. After I get this piece tacked in, I'm gonna weld it down through here, and then weld it up through here, and then of course down here, and it'll be solid. Then we'll get it tacked in. So I had to go ahead and I got me a new bottle of argon. You remember last time I ran out, so I need to get the gauge on it, make sure it's not gonna leak, and then we'll get the welding. Okay, so the floor pan is fit in. As you can see, everything's gonna line up real nice. There's a little bit of hammering here and there after I get the welding. But it fits in there pretty tight, so let me try to get it wiggled out here. Fits in there real tight. There we go. Same as the last one. I went up under it. There's our new brace. Here's our body mount brace. And then straight down through here is our other brace. I didn't mark the other side, but we know that it falls with this body line. So what I'll do is, same thing as I done on the last one. I'm gonna come down through here and drill some spot weld points. So basically that's what you see under there. So I'm just hit a bunch of spot weld drill holes, and then we should be good to go. So drill those, weld it in, and I'll show you the finished product.
Alright guys, that's effectively the end of this show. It was getting late. I stopped and had to go out and check out this beautiful sunset in West Virginia. But next time we will go ahead and continue on that floorboard. So please like, subscribe, follow, and check me out on Instagram, Mustang Jackson 67. Thanks guys. Till next time, keep building.